There's a little bit of a conspiracy theory I have since we're on the topic of Palestine and stuff. Now, obviously,
since we're talking about Palestine, let's talk about conspiracy theories.
no, because obviously, I know on all the interviews they always say, "Hey, do you condemn Hamas?" But could Hamas be America? You know how 9/11 they had a conspiracy theory that it wasn't.
I think this conversation doesn't take you anywhere because you'll never know. Number one. Number two, even discussing that, you would actually offend a lot of people in the Palestinian side.
Oh, really?
Because a lot of people consider Hamas as the resistance movement. And also, it is also offensive for a lot of people who are trying to have their liberation, and then they will find their efforts being muddled into conspiracy theory. Like the whole idea about labeling things, this is like, for example, the whole idea about 9/11, it's an inside job. It doesn't take you anywhere.
Yeah.
This kind of conversation doesn't take you anywhere, and it actually puts you into like a frame of a crazy person.
Yeah.
And then when you cross that line, nobody's gonna listen to you anymore.
Yeah.
Like I would rather talk about the stuff that is very obvious to you, what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, the injustice. Don't just look what Israel does in Gaza. Look what Israel is, not even what Israel does in the West Bank. What Israel does to the Arab that with Israeli passport inside Israel. And the fact that Israel has always been lying to the world, saying we are a secular democratic state while they're an apartheid, racist, and oppressive state, this lie has been gone on for so long, and people are just letting it go by. This is something that is real and it is tangible, and you can talk about it.
Yeah.
You do not need to waste your time and energy to peddle into conspiracy theory that doesn't take you anywhere.
Now, I've seen a lot of comments. Obviously, they say, "Are you racist?" To you,
Me?
Yeah.
In what context?
And specifically towards Israel, because obviously,
no. I said you're anti-Semitic.
Are you?
Listen, I have been into I've been very blessed to be in the public eye blessed and cursed to be in the public eye for the past 13 years. And during these 13 years, I've been accused of all kinds of things. I'm a secret Muslim Brotherhood. I'm a secret Jew. I'm a secret Mossad agent. I'm a secret CIA agent. I'm a mukhabarat operative by the army. I have been called all kinds of names. And to add anti-Semitic to the accusation, I'm a Freemason. To add anti-Semitic to this whole thing, and a satanic worshipper, even Satan himself. I'm Satan. So to add this, doesn't really faze me anymore. It doesn't make. Also, this accusation of anti-Semitism has become so empty. It's an empty accusation. It doesn't. It used to freeze the blood in your veins a few years ago, but it doesn't anymore because it's been overused.
Yeah.
They're calling everybody anti-Semite. They call even Jews who stand against Israel anti-Semite. What they want to say, you're anti-Israel.
Yeah.
But anti-Semite and the whole. First of all, you have Jonathan Glazer, the Jewish director the Jewish Israeli director who just won an Oscar for a movie about the Holocaust. And he went in and he said, I refute my Jewishness. I refuse. I don't want my religion to be hijacked by and the Holocaust to be hijacked by the identity like Israel that has actually been using that to kill people. It was an amazing speech,
wow.
and he was called an anti-Semite. Stephen Hessel was a Jew. He was French Jew. He was part of the French resistance in the Second World War II. And he was in Auschwitz. He was put in a concentration camp. And he survived. And he went out to co-author the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of the United Nations. See, you cannot get more Jewish than this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
2 years ago, he supported the Palestinian cause and he supported BDS.
Yeah.
And he was called an anti-Semite.
Yeah.
Right. So this has been this empty accusation doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
And the whole idea anti-Semite. I'm an Arab. I'm a Semite myself. People don't understand that.
Yeah.
Semites is an ethnic identity that actually means that you all could be an Arab, you could be a Jew. There are the three Semites, which is Arabs, Jews, and Aramaic. That's basically it.
Obviously, I just want to clear there. Obviously. Because obviously you talk about the whole Israel-Palestine thing so much, you're not against Israeli people at all. Only kind of the government to say, right, what they're doing.
No, I guess the Israel as a country and what they do, and the people who support that, which seems that a lot of Israelis unfortunately support that what the government is doing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a minority who doesn't support that, which I applaud. But even if I say I'm against Israel, so what? A lot of people say I'm against America. A lot of people say I'm against the UK. A lot of people say I'm against Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE. What? So what? Why is this an outlandish, crazy accusation? Why
But-
should be people afraid to be labeled anti-something? I'm anti-Trump and anti-the Biden. I can say whatever I want about the American president and I cannot speak about Israel. This is crazy.
Yeah. And obviously for the ones that I guess are, but here's the thing, okay? I feel like, let's say the minority that are not in favor of what their government is doing, don't you think they're getting a lot of hate? Like the Israeli Jewish people?
I think if there's anti-Semitism in the world, I think Israel is the source of it. Because they have made so much damage to people and they made people hate Israel. And because of them, they are associating themselves with Judaism. So a lot of people don't make this distinction. I have enough intelligence and I have enough experience to distinguish, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And I think Israel is the cause of anti-Semitism in the world.
Now, in your opinion, is Israel a country?
It is. I mean, listen, it is a country. Like the whole idea was like, oh, it's not a country. We can just like discuss about that, but like officially, it is a country in the UN.
Okay.
And the thing is, being a country in the UN puts a lot of responsibility on it. And this is why every time they want to compare Hamas with Israel, it's like, don't compare because Israel is a country while Hamas isn't.
Yeah.
You see, that's a big thing.
Because they can get
Israel is a signatory of the Universal Human Rights of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Israel is the signatory of the Geneva Convention. It signed all of the war laws. So that is why you can hold Israel accountable, and you cannot compare it to Hamas.
Yeah. Okay. My last thing about this topic before we move on, what do you think is the solution right now? Obviously, it's too late. But what do you think?
Well, first of all, you have to stop the killing.
Yeah.
And second of all, if you want peace does not mean the cessation of fight. Peace does not mean the cessation of violence. That is just like cessation of violence. Peace means it has to be just. And there's a lot of problems like the illegal settlements in the West Bank. There's land seizure, the seizing of land, the seizing of houses, the killing of people, putting people under an occupied for an occupation for 75 years, the longest occupation in modern history, by the way. And to do that, you have to continue doing that. There's no peace. There's a problem with the land. There's a problem with Palestinian refugees. There's a huge problem that you need to fix before you talk about peace.
But how do you fix that? I feel like, and this is my opinion about just the world in general, I feel like the governments make problems. I don't think any person is born hateful. They're born into a situation. For example, let's say they're born into Palestine, which is now seeing Israel bombing them, and now they hate them. So I don't think the people are the problem. I think it's the situations. And vice versa. I think people are born into Israel with what's going on, and then they have their parents kind of preaching them something. And then so I feel just that hate is the reason, but it's not based on the specific people, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, but I mean, we're not discussing about that. So
but how do you
about
fix that? Because right now, okay, let's say as much as we think...
You don't fix that overnight. Yeah, this has been... But, okay, this hate has been breeding for decades, and there's a reason for that kind of...
But as much as, let's say, we think Israel is in the wrong right now. Okay, yes, they've come and taken the land, the houses. Let's say, miraculously, they say, okay, you know what, we're wrong. Where do they go? Where do they go now?
What do you mean? Talk about Israelis?
Yeah.
Again, this is like a much bigger... first of all, I never said like we should erase Israel. I never said that.
Yeah.
Right? And second of all, there's even like the people who talk about the people who know much better than me, much more qualified. There's either the two-state solution where they have two separate things, or like they have this land and that land, or they have a one-state solution where everybody lives happily with the same equal rights.
Yeah.
All right? It seems that there's a lot of obstacles for both of them, and I think that it's being complicated every day, and it's not becoming attainable. But again, I mean, this is me as a human being. This is me. But again, I didn't make it get to that bad. So I don't. I only have these kind of theoretical theories, but it's not really up to me.